Good morning. Welcome to your Saturday morning, early morning intuitive guidance. Excuse the painting clothes, but I have a front door to paint this morning. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, and we have a wonderful card for today. I think you're going to find it interesting, intriguing. So, it's from the Wild Harmonic deck by Gabrielle J. Maryhugh. And again, I love the art on the cover of this deck. I love the shape of this deck. Good morning, Peggy. Glad you're here. Looks like someone else has popped on. Good morning. Welcome, welcome. But I love the circle of hands. I just think that's very cool. The art in this deck is very interesting. So, wait for everybody to pop on here. Good morning, Abigail. Good morning, Cindy. Glad you're all here. Ready for something to think about today. Something to chew on for a bit. And, we haven't had that deck in a while, so I'm excited to share this card with you. So, went to see Oppenheimer yesterday with Diane, and good movie, good movie. If you want something to, good morning Gwen, glad you're here. If you want something to stir your thought process, that's a good one. I've always been a World War II buff, so I was familiar with the storyline, and but seeing all the background stuff and looking at all the good old white boys who were running the show at that point, pretty amazing. So it's a 3-hour movie though, so be prepared. So again, let's do a couple nice deep breaths first, just to settle in for this card. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Settling in, Wild Harmonic deck. Our card for today, I loved the image on this card also, is Immaculate Imperfection. And there's the solar system, Immaculate Imperfection. And you're going, isn't that interesting? Let me explain what he means by that and see what you think. Immaculate Imperfection. As the celestial realms meet themselves, they come to realize that variety, imperfection, is the greater perfection than otherwise. All right? Meditation. The beauty of imperfection, accepting things as they are, opening to opportunities, and being easy on oneself. Good morning, Bonnie. Glad you were here. How well are we all doing on that? Let me read those 4 again and just kind of resonate with, yeah, I'm doing pretty well on that one, or oops, need a little boost on that one. All right? Let's see. The beauty of imperfection. Do you see the beauty in imperfection? Good morning, Ruth Ann. Glad you're here. Accepting things as they are. We've been working with the Byron Katie stuff on and off for quite some time now. Loving what is. Not trying to change everything, not expecting things to be different than they are. That, she says, our suffering comes from trying to demand that things be different than they are. So accepting things as they are. Opening to opportunities. Yep, I agree with you, Abigail, absolutely. Opening to opportunities and being easy on oneself. That last one, most of us probably need a boost, huh? Okay. This is a card of finding balance in imbalance, depth within shallows, and light within darkness. Good morning, Mel. Glad you are here. So it's being able to hold the tension of opposites and find a common ground. It reminds me to write nothing off as invalid, for all is a part of this grand unfolding. I mean, if you look at this and conceive of this, amazing, right? Absolutely amazing. And is it perfect? I'm sure not. Good morning, Linda. Well, not morning by you, but glad you are here. Welcome, welcome. But look at that. Isn't that divinely imperfect? Yep. Light within darkness. Absolutely. Yes, yes. Okay, so balance in imbalance, depth within shallows, and light within darkness. It reminds me to write nothing off as invalid, for all is a part of this grand unfolding. This next part I was going, what is he talking about here? There is no symmetry in life other than that which we may temporarily find. Forces great and small push and pull me from all directions, never giving me a sense of perfect center. So I find perfect center everywhere, equally within the turmoil as within the calm. And that reminds me of one of the statements that Bobby Silverstone always makes during yoga class. At the center of life's storms, I stand serene. At the center of life's storms, I stand serene. So that's about us being centered, us being aligned within, regardless of the tilt-a-whirl that's going on around us, okay? Easier said than done. Easier said than done. So here's the inquiry question for us to think about for the day. How can I let go of my ideas of perfection in order to open to an even deeper balance? How can I let go of my ideas of perfection in order to open to an even deeper balance? Glad you like that one. I love that one also. Good morning, Beth. Glad you are here. Welcome. We are at 11 people. 1-1. Fabulous. How can I let go of my ideas of perfection? And notice that, ideas of perfection. It's all a thought process. In order to open to an even deeper balance. Because when we insist that things be perfect in the way that we think is perfect, we're not okay with what is. We're not okay with what is. And then that messes up our sense of balance. We're off kilter because we're demanding that something be different than it is. Hear that again. We throw ourselves off kilter by demanding that something be different than it is. Exactly. Whipping around like crazy. Yes. But when we settle into what is, this is. I may not like this. We can acknowledge that. I don't like how it is right now, but it is what it is. What are my options here? How can I embrace what is and keep moving? Basically, keep moving. I was watching another Amanda Ellis video yesterday or the day before, but she was talking about, again, and if you follow any psychics, if you follow anyone who is a seer, etc., they are talking about the tumultuousness of our times. And sometimes we have to shake and stir things up in order for the new to come up through the cracks. When we smash what is, or it smashes itself sometimes, out of that rubble can rise the phoenix. Okay? So hold on to your butts. We're kind of going for a ride right now in terms of the stirring up of things, the crashing of old calcified things that no longer work. So if your viewpoint is right here, this is how it's always been in my 30, 40, 50, 60 years of life, whatever it is, this is how it's always been, this is how it should always stay, you're going to be pretty miserable right now. Pretty miserable. Because again, things are sort of whipsawing back and forth, and you think something is grounded and all of a sudden it falls apart. Yep, through the lion's gate. Absolutely true. So, how can I let go of my ideas of perfection in order to open to an even deeper balance? I want you to just imagine that for a minute. Close your eyes. Not if you're driving, but close your eyes. Take some nice deep belly breaths, and I want you to imagine evenness. Even keel. Just evenness. And just feel it. Feel those little adjustments that get made when something's off kilter. Very much like autopilot. The more highly attuned the autopilot is, the sooner it course corrects when the plane drifts off course. Same for us. The more highly attuned we are, the sooner we can course correct when we drift off. When something enters our field, let's say there's a newspaper headline, let's say something not pleasant happens, like a car accident, let's say someone gets sick in your world, how quickly you return to that sense of center. I can stay grounded, I can stay solid despite this upheaval, whatever this upheaval is. This upheaval is part of life. There is a balance within this upheaval, There's opposing forces that help level out that imbalance. Within us, we create huge amounts of balance simply by aligning our thinking. This is what it is. Again, acknowledge, I may not like it, but it is what it is, and in some way it's serving a higher purpose. Even considering that, stepping into your curious observer, I wonder what that higher purpose might be. When you pursue that with your thought process, it helps put you in a much more even keel state. There's a reason for this. There's a purpose. There's value to this upheaval. Okay? So, go back to this. There's a pattern here. There's predictability here. Some predictability. It is what it is. And most of us write that off as way too much of a cliche. But cliches got to be cliches for a reason, right? They were used heavily because they hold some grain of truth, or they have some usefulness to them, right? So imagine you being able to see the light within the darkness, and remembering no amount of darkness can ever snuff out the light. Light can permeate the darkness, but the darkness cannot shut out the light. Good morning, Linda. Glad you are here. Light within darkness, depth within shallows, balance within imbalance. That's what we're aiming for today. That's what we're working on. Yes, Lionsgate 8-8 coming up. Open to a whole lot of energetic shifting and upheaval, but also a whole lot of opportunity. All right? So stay centered in that opportunity. Keep your eyes open. If the universe is telling you your opportunities right now are heightened, and you keep your eyes open, what's the likelihood you're going to find some of those opportunities and take them? And again, I talk about the 1 degree of difference. Any change you make right now over time leads to a very different place than you would have been had you stayed doing exactly what you've been doing for however long. So, immaculate imperfection. That's what we're looking at today. Imperfection as a wonderful thing. All right? Divinely imperfect. So, have an awesome day playing around with that. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.